Dunham Hall stood as a proud emblem of academia, its towering spires reaching toward the heavens, casting ominous shadows over the campus below. Yet, beneath its grand facade, a darkness lingered, a darkness that no amount of scholarly pursuits could dispel. Legend had it that the building was haunted by the spirit of a former professor, driven to madness by the pressures of tenure and the relentless pursuit of academic acclaim. Students whispered of strange occurrences, books flying off shelves, disembodied footsteps echoing through empty corridors, and the chilling sensation of being watched by unseen eyes. Sarah, an ambitious graduate student, scoffed at such tales, dismissing them as nothing more than the product of overactive imaginations. That is until the night she found herself alone in the library, surrounded by the oppressive silence of the empty halls. As she buried herself in her studies, a cold draft swept through the room, sending shivers down her spine. Ignoring the unease creeping into her thoughts, she pressed on, determined to conquer the mountain of research before her. But then, a whisper. A soft, insistent voice calling her name from the darkness beyond. Sarah froze, her heart pounding in her chest as she scanned the room for any sign of intrusion. Yet, she was alone, or so she thought. The voice grew louder, more urgent, its words unintelligible yet filled with a palpable sense of dread. With trembling hands, Sarah gathered her belongings, ready to flee from whatever unseen terror lurked in the shadows. But as she turned to leave, she felt a cold hand close around her wrist, holding her in place with a strength that belied its spectral form. Panic surged through her veins as she struggled against the invisible force, desperate to break free from its icy grip. In that moment of terror, Sarah knew the truth. Dunham Hall was more than just a building. It was a prison, a tomb for lost souls condemned to wander its hallowed halls for eternity. And as the echoes of her screams faded into the night, the darkness claimed another victim, its hunger insatiable, its thirst for torment unquenchable. In the heart of the psychology department, nestled behind closed doors and obscured from prying eyes, lay the laboratory where Dr. Thomas conducted his infamous experiment, a study shrouded in secrecy, its true purpose known only to those brave enough to participate. Eager to earn extra credit and intrigued by the promise of scientific discovery, Mark, a sophomore with a penchant for the macabre, volunteered to take part in the study. Little did he know the horrors that awaited him within the sterile confines of the laboratory. Under the watchful gaze of Dr. Thomas, Mark was subjected to a series of increasingly unsettling tasks, each one designed to test the limits of his psyche and push him to the brink of madness. From sensory deprivation to simulated torture, the experiments grew more sinister with each passing day, leaving Mark teetering on the edge of sanity. As the lines between reality and illusion blurred, Mark found himself trapped in a nightmarish labyrinth of his own making, tormented by visions of unspeakable horror and consumed by a terror unlike anything he had ever known. Yet, despite his desperate pleas for release, Dr. Thomas remained unmoved, his cold, clinical demeanor betraying no hint of remorse for the suffering he inflicted upon his unwitting subjects. In the end, Mark emerged from the experiment a shell of his former self, haunted by memories of the horrors he had endured and forever scarred by the knowledge that the true monsters lurked not in the darkness of the laboratory, but within the depths of his own mind. On the outskirts of campus, hidden away from the prying eyes of students and faculty, stood the abandoned dormitory known simply as The Vanishing. Once a bustling hub of student activity, it had long since fallen into disrepair, its crumbling facade a testament to the passage of time and the forgotten memories of those who once called it home. But amid the decay and neglect, whispers of a darker truth began to surface, a truth that few dared to acknowledge, lest they become its next victims. For within the walls of The Vanishing, something sinister lurked, a malevolent force hell-bent on claiming the souls of unsuspecting students who dared to trespass upon its haunted halls. One fateful night, a group of thrill-seeking undergraduates ventured into the abandoned dormitory, eager to uncover the secrets that lay hidden within its crumbling walls. Armed with nothing but flashlights and a false sense of bravado, they set out to explore the labyrinthine corridors and decaying rooms that had long been forgotten by the world above. But as they delved deeper into the darkness, they soon realized that they were not alone. Shadows danced at the edge of their vision, whispers echoed through the empty halls, and a sense of dread hung heavy in the air like a shroud. One by one, the students began to vanish, their screams echoing through the darkness as they were swallowed whole by the malevolent force that lurked within the vanishing. And as dawn broke on a new day, there was no trace of the brave souls who had dared to enter its cursed confines, their fate forever entwined with the haunted history of the abandoned dormitory.